Alright guys, Carl Jochimson here with the guys from Bass University, and we're going to talk about my glide bait setup, my swim bait setup, what I use, why I use it, where. And you know, there's a big craze right now. You might have seen Gunnersville Table Rock Championship last year. The glide bait really came into play for me the last couple years. It's almost won me a couple tournaments. It saved me massively in a few tournaments, but over the last 5 years I've really tried to learn this bait and study it and understand it. And when I was doing that, it was only for end of the season trying to catch a giant bass. That's what they're known for, big bait, big fish. There's nothing truer than that when it comes to a big glide bait. But my main reason for learning it was, how can I utilize this in a tournament situation? It wasn't working for me. I was trying it and it was too much hero or zero. You know, the conditions would have to be perfect to get them to eat it. So all that learning and everything was mainly to understand how I could use this bait in a tournament situation and add it to my arsenal, have it on the deck and use it to either save me or have, you know, a monster day. And over the last couple of years, it started to click, and that's what started to happen. I found a way to put it in there and use it when it was perfect, and it really has taken my career to another level, this one bait, because last year and this year alone, I've had the 2 best years of my whole career, and I'm now going on 9 checks in a row from last year, right through all different situations, and the glide bait came into play over half of those for me. So to give you a bit of a, you know, how I use it and when and why, if there's any clarity in the water at all, if I can see 2-3 feet down, a little bit of visibility, I'm going to have a glide bait on the deck no matter what. No matter what lake in the whole entire country where I'm at, this outfit is going to be on my deck, and this is why I'm going to use it and where. The first one, you know, is the ideal way, when they're just on it. We're at Gunnersville, big fish, you need a big bag to win. The giants are in there, they eat big shad, they eat big baits, crappie, and so they're known for it. Then you get the ideal conditions, you get wind, sun, everything lines up, and you get to throw that bait all day. And that's what you saw at the championship this year, FLW. I led the first day, conditions were perfect, I threw the glide bait all day, I got 6 bites on it, I landed all 6, had 21 pounds and led the event. Ideal situation, but that doesn't happen all the time. The next step is you go out and you find the perfect technique, the technique that you're going to fish, you know, for the event. And a good one for me to explain it is Champlain. Found a great micro jig bite on bridges. It was very detailed, and I went out and I knew 16 to 17 pounds was going to be solid, but that was going to about max me out in those areas. So went out on the first day, I caught 17 pounds on the micro jig. Well, I've got 3 hours to go, and I've got 2 locations where I can do it. I don't want to burn those fish. I know I can't upgrade anymore. 3 hours to go, pick the glide bait up and go. And I'm confident, I'm settled, I fish slow, and I fish that glide bait for 3 hours. 20 minutes into it, I get the bite, 5.5 pounder, boat flip it. Now I'm at 19 pounds and leading the event. I caught a fish that I would never have caught, you know, any other way, and I didn't have to like go hero or zero and try and catch 5. I already had a good bag, and then the glide bait helped me to get to that next level, catch that bigger fish. And then the third scenario is the save your butt scenario. This bait can get you out of trouble when you really need it. And same thing, same lake, but this has happened to me, you know, half a dozen times over the last couple of years. There's 20 minutes to go, an hour to go, half an hour, and you've got 12 pounds. You're going to come 80th. There's no doubt. You're not on them. Things are bad. You need a big fish to change your day. And instead of continually grinding out that hasn't been working for me, I just go for it. And that's when I'll pick the big bait up. And, you know, a story about that, it's happened to me half a dozen times, but last year, 13 pounds at Champlain, again, I'm coming in, 20 minutes to go. There's no doubt I'm going to come 80th, maybe 100th. I haven't got enough weight. My only chance is to catch a giant on the glide bait. I picked it up, and in 5 casts, I caught a 5.5 and a 6.5, threw 2 1.5 pounders out, ran back with 22 pounds, made the 12 cut. Now that could be super lucky, but I knew I had a chance of making that happen. That is, you know, that isn't an uncommon scenario for me. So that's how I utilize the glide bait in tournament situations. As soon as the tournament season's done and fall comes in, I pick up this glide bait, I put all my outfits away, and I just go fishing with the glide bait, and I chase a true giant. That's the best way to put all the odds in your favor to catch, you know, the fish of a lifetime. So it's a great bait to do that, but then it's a great bait if you can utilize it and sneak it into your tournament arsenal and present it and catch a fish that is basically uncatchable on anything else. So I've done a lot of research, a lot of work into the outfit, and there's a lot to it. And if you're looking at getting into this and you want to do the glide bait deal and it excites you, don't try and just do it with one of the outfits that you got. You need to just go out and get yourself an actual glide bait, swim bait rod that's going to do the job for you right. It's going to do it well, and then you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to have the right setup, and you're not going to run into troubles. It's a heavy bait. They're usually between 4 and 8 ounces, and I've got a rod in there that I've got a 12-ounce bait on. But generally speaking, you know, a 4 to 8 ounce bait is pretty big, so you need the right outfit. I work with Ian Miller of Miller Rods. He specializes in, you know, all sorts of rods. We've got a 20 rod range over here now, but chasing big cod and barramundi back home, we were pretty experienced in throwing big baits and what we needed to get the bite and keep fish on. So this rod is 7'10", so it's pretty long, almost 8 feet long, but a lot of the length is in the handle, and that's where all your casting ability is going to come from. Most people are like, I can't cast it all day, you know, I'm getting worn out. Cast of half an hour, where you need to be able to throw the bait a lot, make a lot of casts, and try not to get worn out. So this longer handle is going to give you that leverage to literally, all I'm doing is this, my arm is sitting here, and all the butt handle is doing is when you're going back, you're just pulling down on it. And that the leverage of that handle is basically doing all the work. And then you're not exerting a lot of energy, it's not hard on you, and you can throw that bait all day, and that's what it's going to take when you want to try and catch a giant fish. So long rod butt, nice and comfortable, and that rod butt also is going to help you get it up underneath your armpit. It needs that second point of contact because...
It's Mike Iaconelli. This is Bass U TV.
Here's what's awesome about Bass U TV.
You get the top instructors.
Real tools that help you catch more fish consistently.
And that's why you want to check out Bass U TV.
Join the Bass U family.
Welcome to Bass U TV.